Boss 1, Byregot. Ordeal of Thunder, raid wide. Byregot's Strike, knockback. Position around the blue circle to get knocked back, not into a wall. Byregot's Ward, Conal Tank Buster, everyone else stay clear. Builder's Build, charges his hammer, look at the 4 conals under the boss. These indicate AoEs which will fire from the next Byregot's Strike knockback, i.e. from the big blue knockback circle. Positioned to be knocked back into a safe space relative to the blue knockback marker. Byregot will now make the arena smaller. Into the hammer phase. Hammers along the outside indicate direction the platform adjacent will move. Platforms move by 1 square away from the hammer. Please note, you do not move, the platform moves from under you. To handle mechanics, you need to utilise the moving platforms. Never stand on a square right next to a hammer. When the platform moves, you'll fall. You also have a small amount of time after the platforms move to adjust for incoming AoEs. Mechanic 1. A hammer is called down into one of the squares with purple line AoEs out of either side. The hammer and the line AoE will move with the platform as it moves. Note which way the hammer will move and ensure the platform you stand on won't go into its path. Mechanic 2. Byregot's Spire. The boss does a huge AoE covering most of the platform. Stand on the square furthest away from a hammer, then quickly move out of the AoE after the platforms move. Reproduce. The boss will make replications of itself along one edge. AoEs will track from each across the arena. The AoEs will be quicker from the replicas that are charged with lightning. Start in a slow moving lane and then move after the lightning's charged AoEs have passed. Given the difference in speed, if you start on the opposite side to the replicas, you will have more time to manoeuvre between the lanes. Trash 1, Rhalgr's Emissary. Destructive Static, large AoE in front of the boss, move behind during the cast as no time to adjust after. Divine Axe, has no cast, will swing axe and then purple lines will be drawn, which dictate 2 AoEs which will cover 2 quadrants of the arena. Identify which are drawn and move to the adjacent quadrants. A few baited AoEs to dodge after. Bolt from the blue, raid wide. Bolt Loop, circle AoEs, then 2 successive donut AoEs to avoid. Move into the first donut as the circle AoE goes off. These will be the safe spots for the first donuts. Destructive Strike, Tank Buster. Boss 2, Rhalgr. Lightning Rain, raid wide. Advent of the 8. Morphs 2 of his portals into larger ones on the outside of the arena. This is the core mechanic for the rest of the fight. Hand of the Destroying. The boss will lean / punch towards one of his smaller portals, blue or red, and the corresponding colour particle effect will go from the small to the larger portal. Note which one, as a half arena AoE will go out on the same colour side from the big portal which he basically punches through. Move to the other side. Broken World. Proximity AoE, move far away from the pulse. Rhalgr's Beacon. Need to be knocked back so that one of the fingers stops you from falling off the edge. Note, not all of the green arrows on the floor correctly achieve this, so make sure you look back at the fingers rather than just the ground AoEs. Destructive Bolt. Tank Buster on each of the 3 tanks. Advent of the 8, into Broken World, into Hand of the Destroyer. If the boss punches / charges the orange portal, then run to the first AoE proximity marker that appears by the large orange portal. The boss will punch the incoming comment, actually making it the safe space. If the boss punches and charges the blue hand and portal, then move as far away from the proximity A as possible, while not going into the large blue portals half the arena, which will also have a giant AoE. Bronze Work. Pizza Slice AoEs to dodge. Dodge the first and then step into the safe space it leaves behind to dodge the second. Baited AoEs also going off on a few players at the same time to dodge. Hell of Lightning into Rhalgr's Beacon. Same knockback onto the fingers, however this time only one finger will be safe and the others will have Lightning Orb AoEs. Identify the correct finger. Trash 2, Lions. Double Immolation, raid wide. Slash and Burn. The Lioness will do a donut AoE and the Lion will do a circle AoE under him. Limit cut balls above their head will indicate which order they will go off in. Roaring Blaze. Each will do a half arena AoE. Again, the limit cutter balls above their head will indicate which order to dodge them in. Boss 3, Azeyma. Warden's Prominence, raid wide. Solar Fans, line AoE through the centre to avoid. Solar wings, conals either side of the boss. Stay close to the boss, which gives you lots of time to avoid. We'll leave 6 orbs on either side of the arena. Initially, these will just explode, leaving the centre safe. Warden's warmth, tank buster on each tank. Solar wings into sunshine. 4 images of the boss will appear. Each will kick one of the orbs into the direction indicated under them. Identify the copy to stand next to, which no other copy are facing. Radiant rhythm. 2 fire rings on opposite side of the arena will indicate where a rotating animation, which covers a quarter of the outside of the arena, will rotate. It will rotate a differing number of times, and where it finishes, 2 very large AoEs will go off. Hugging the boss in the centre will allow you to quickly adjust at the end when they pause before the AoEs go off. Fleeting spark. Huge conal AoE in the front of the boss. Tuck in right behind the boss as soon as it starts casting. Solar fold. Large X AoE to avoid. Solar fold into sunshine. 2 and later 3 copies of the boss will appear and rush across the arena. You want to stand in a quadrant that in fact has a copy of the boss. They will stabilise the quadrant where they finish up rather than start. When 3 later in the fight, only 1 quadrant which has a copy in it but doesn't have another one facing it will be safe. Wildfire ward. 3 knockbacks will be identified by ground markers in the triangle safe zone. Remember the order and position to be knocked back into the opposing point of the triangle. Adjust for each. Noble Dawn, a series of 3 growing ground AoEs, positioned to move into the first set after they have gone off. Sublime Sunset. The boss will hit the sun to the side of the arena that she is facing, creating a huge proximity AoE. Move to the other side behind the boss. Boss 4, Nald Thal. Key boss indicators referred to as above refer to the boss's top half. The key orange versus blue indicators are also very easily seen in the arena background colour and the boss's flying lanterns. As above, so below. Raid wide, and dependent on the boss's top half, will change to have a dark blue background to the arena or a bright orange background to the arena. The boss also gains either glowing blue or orange lanterns, both looking a bit white. Heat above, flames below. When you're in the blue flame arena, this will be a donut AoE, so get under the boss. When this is in a orange arena, this will be a circle AoE under the boss, so move out of the middle. Heaven's Trial. 3 players will get large conals, not to be overlapped, and everyone else will get a stack marker to group up together. Golden Tenant. Triple tank buster, all tanks stack. Far above, deep below. 3 players getting pathing AoEs to be baited away from the boss. Everyone else take the line stack AoE. Once above, ever below. AoEs which move out in the directions indicated. 1 set of blue and 1 set of orange will appear. Only the ones the same colour as the boss's lanterns and the arena background will go off. Move to the opposing colour for safe spots. The boss can change the colour of the arena at the last second, so stay close to the middle until the cast finishes. Hell of Fire. Large arena AoE on the front or the back of boss. The blue laser lights will indicate which way the AoE is going to go off, but be aware this can change at the last second. Wayward Soul. Orbs descending from the sky create large AoEs when they hit the floor. Ensure a good view of the skies to plan your movements and try to stay as centered as possible, which will make it much easier to move between the different AoEs. Fire up into Fortune's Flux. Tethers to 1, 2 or 3 symbols on around the arena. The number of diamonds at each point will dictate the order they go off. As he tethers to each in succession, a symbol on the boss, and at the end of the tether will dictate whether each is a knockback or will have a large AoE under it. Position and adjust accordingly. Soul's Measure will create copies of 3 players in the raid. Each has a conal attack to avoid and stack markers to soak. Burn them down. Preserve the balance. Players need to split and move to either side to balance the visual scales at the front of the arena. The amount of copies on either side will impact the amount of players required. Getting it wrong will cause a wipe, but I'm guessing the number of players required on each side isn't too specific or punishing. Hearth above, flight below. 3 tracking AoEs and line stack again, but this time dependent on the arena boss colour in play, players also need to dodge the in or out boss AoE mechanic from before. Hell's Trial, raid wide. All done. Like and subscribe to complete the duty.